paid a player. So ESPN and the news popularizes the situation where they say D'Angelo is holding out because he wants 145 million, and then the blogs will get going and they'll say 145 million. He out his mind. He crazy. Then all of a sudden, guess what? Your agent will get you a deal and you will settle for 140 million. Okay? When you settle for that 140 million, guess what? You ain't getting nothing to that owner's pocket. You ain't putting no dent in his pocket. The owners are still raping brother athletes and treating them like slaves to this day.
That's what I'm saying. Why are we still doing that?
They ain't never hurt.
Why are we still doing that,
How do you
though?
have Kobe, LeBron, Magic, Kareem, Jay? How do you have these guys as the franchise face of your organization? And those guys, when their playing career is over, they can't even own 0.5% of a NBA
team.
Crazy, man.
It's slavery.
But it looks
You
like
mean,
some of our
see, you
people
saying they
comfortable
play
with
for the
that.
team for years, and when they retire, they can't even own a little piece of it.
I'll give you a perfect example of what the brother's talking about. I'll give you a perfect example of what the brother's talking about. If you ask you between the coach,
Is it that Blake?
bro, if somebody asks you between the coach and the players, who's making the team go? Who would you pick?
Who's making the team go? The
Yeah.
players.
Players. Thank you very much. You know the dude that's running Miami? Pat Riley.
Pat Riley, yeah.
He asked the Lakers, you give me part of the Lakers? And then I'll coach. And I'll come and run the team. They said, no, he went to Miami. You know he's a part owner of Miami, right?
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The Lakers wouldn't do it?
Players can't do that. They come and sugarcoat them. They tell us, Magic Johnson is the co-owner of
Magic ain't running
bullshit.
shit. Magic ain't running. That black man
That's
ain't doing
just a
shit.
PR.
PR. That's it.
PR. They tell her, hey man, we'll give you this much money.
But he
you
ain't-
just be the face of
he
the
ain't at the chair.
organization.
He ain't
you
at the-
just do the talk and all that
He
shit.
ain't at the
You
table.
just do the talking and all that.
He ain't at, is he at the table?
No.
Who?
Magic.
No. He at the table when they come to bring a free agent in so he can do the
Yeah.
smile and
Yeah.
hey, welcome
Exactly.
to LA.
This is what we need you to do.
This is
Yeah.
what we need you to do.
And they'll tell them exactly, hey, this is gonna be your
I bet he
role
think he worked for him too. I work for the Bulls.
I'm gonna tell you the biggest trip off of Magic Johnson, who was my man, right?
Okay.
Oh, I love him too.
Ooh, my favorite player of all time. I'm gonna tell you the biggest trip of Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in order for Magic, Marcos, to own that 0.5% ownership of the Lakers, he got to sell all his movie theaters. He got to sell all
He
his.
did, didn't he?
Let's talk, brother. He had to sell all his Starbucks. He had to sell all his TGIF Fridays just to own a percent of the Lakers. And then when he got that percent of the Lakers and decided he wanted to go with the Dodgers, he had to sell that too.
So he can't own both of them.
He can't own this much of both of them.
That's too much power for a black man, bro.
Out of all the money Marcos, out of all the money he
Magic
made,
Johnson?
out of all the money he made and the face that he is,
He don't own shit.
he can't own this much of it.
Bro, the issue for them is not the money, it's the power.
Yeah, the money.
Because they don't want
fuck
him.
about no
Yeah,
money.
they don't want him to be in that position of power. Because what's going to happen is going to inspire other black people to try to get into that position and then control the league. And they cannot see that happening.
Then they're gonna take
But
over
we're
coaching
so-
like they
I
did
don't know
the
why we
league.
can't say like, you know what? When we're going to figure it out? You know what? We are the league.
We are
We are the fucking
We
league.
are the league.
But you know what?
But we still listening
and-
to these plantation owners,
Me and
dude.
LeBron and
That
them,
don't make
bro,
no
let's
fucking
do our own
sense,
thing.
dude.
Y'all want a beer?
Man, I'm good. I don't drink anything.
Yeah, I'll take a beer, man. 'Cause I ain't drinking no liquor.
I'm on point and on subject with what y'all talking about.
Look at the
Right,
Cowboys. Oh, okay. I
I
see
told
what
you
you're
they wasn't
talking
gonna
about.
score. I told you that.
Well,
They just got a fumble,
yeah, now they should be up. They should be emotionally.
but they ain't gonna do it.
I know they shooting a three.
Right.
Well, man, ain't nobody up in. Well, it's COVID, huh?
Hey, son.
Closed captioning of
Come here
this
real
program
quick.
is brought to you in part by Expedia. Imagine the places we'll go together.
Thank
I
you,
got a
sir.
bottle opener for you right here. Kind of fat, brother. I'm drinking them lights over here, man. But still give that
This
Corona
is full
taste,
of
though.
taste, though. Yeah, blessings, man. Thank you. Oh, shade to the ancestors.
What up, baby? Come on in, man. You at home. This is D'Angelo right here,
up,
man.
man?
Come on over there and smack hands with him, man. Smack hands with him. This is my son, Sydney, man.
Pleasure
Yeah.
meeting you, man.
And this is Marco.
What's up, brother? Peace, man.
Yeah. Come
Bless,
on, come
bless.
downstairs, man. See who's down here, so you ain't gotta feel like you can't come back or nothing. Tony will be back. He'll be here in a minute. You'll recognize his face when you see him, probably.
All right.
All right, baby boy.
Good to see you, brother.
I'll see
Bless
you.
me.
Yeah. Hey, when we start filming, you can come down if you want to.
Oh, okay.
All
All
right.
right, all right.
Okay.
See, you ever been on camera, man?
Huh?
You ever been on camera?
Have I?
You know I got mess with Sid,
You see
man.
my face?
Bro, you know I'm messing
I'm
with
trying to figure out how you ain't got me on camera while you doing the music thing yet. Cause I be listening when
Hey,
you be on there, I
man.
be listening to you hitting them drums and shit, be like, this nigga don't know I can rap.
Okay.
So he want
Definitely.
to just hear some background vocals or something in the back of that.
All right,
Man, I
all
can
right.
do that, man. But
that's good
I
to know.
respect your lane and what you're doing and
Yeah.
your creativity. So I never, I'm
No,
never
that's
gonna,
blessed,
I'm never gonna put that
Yeah.
as a comment. Hey, brother, let me. But no, man.
I didn't know that, yeah.
Yeah, man, my face,
right.
my face made for the camera.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's how you gotta believe, man. That's right.
Oh man, yes sir. But yeah, man, with that ownership thing, man, it's a trip, man. It's a trip how they flip that and how they parlay that, and how they even with the Black Lives Matter movement, right? And I had a discussion with my brother. I have a little brother that's about I'm 48. He's 43. His friends are all we're all grown, and we were having a discussion about should the guys come back and even play basketball with the killing that's going on. And then they have certain players that say we opt out. Like, hey man, it's a bigger reason, bigger cause right now.
Yeah, they had brothers walking off on the set. What's it, my man that walked off on the set?
No, he's talking about Kyrie and them. They said we're not playing it
Exactly.
out. Kyrie even went as far
Yeah.
as telling the woman, if you don't play, I pay you.
Right. Absolutely.
WNBA?
Yeah.
He said any WNBA that was sick, I'll financially give you some money. You
Man,
know,
we should be supporting our own people like that, man.
but everybody trying to go off of him because you got a lot
We
of
got rich
people
celebrities, man.
Yeah.
They
Like
could,
before, what's the dude's name?
Oh,
Smith,
my
the
goodness.
dude.
yeah, Will Smith,
No, not Will Smith.
Jay-Z.
My mother.
No, it's a reporter.
I don't know.
I'm doing good. I love you, mother.
A. Smith. It's on
actually,
ESPN.
in the
Run his mouth like crazy.
Oh, I know you're talking about that cat. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
With the little mustache.
Yeah.
One of my
Yeah,
friends
yeah.
was,
Philadelphia dude.
he's
Kevin
written a
Hart be
book,
going in on
and
it.
he wants to,
Yeah.
at some point turn into a movie. And he has two of his best friends, and all of us are friends together.
Man, I should've played football,
right now,
dude.
They're gonna do like an interview, and a documentary, and a
Hey, man, I'll show you something, man.